How's it going, everyone? Shiny Plume here. So, if you're not in the know of what this comment is talking about with Mitsu plant, Jessica Robinson, or Sunseed Jess, as most people know, is one of the best players of the plant deck, Rika Sunavalon or the 60 card pile. And she has been working on this amazing 60 card reptile plant pile that bridges Sunavalon and Ragnaraika with Mitsurugi. And how she pulls it off is using cards like Traptrix Vesikulo and Incantation Talismandra to bridge the two decks. Especially Talismandra, because Talismandra can add any ritual monster to your hand, and it happens to be a plant, so you can special summon it off of Jasmine. And then you use something like Skeletal Soldier to put back the Talismandra in order to make sure you don't extra deck lock yourself so you can keep playing. Now, some of the reasons I like this deck is, one, I just love Mitsurugi. I've talked about how Mitsurugi became one of my favorite archetypes, and the only thing holding it back from being my absolute favorite is that it wasn't a plant archetype. Now, don't get me wrong, this doesn't make it a plant archetype, but it does play plants like Sunavalon and Ragnaraika. It doesn't really play Rika or Aroma, which is upsetting to me because I love Rika and Aroma, and it would have been nice to bridge those into it, but I guess it does play a couple Rika cards, and of course Aroma Surfy Jasmine. But the number one thing I think I like about this is that it definitely feels like what Ragnaraika should have been. Like how Tri-Brigade was about beast warriors, and winged beasts, but it by itself wasn't a archetype that could support itself very well. It needed a supplementary couple of archetypes in those types that elevated it, such as with Bird Up, which is Lyrilisc Tri-Brigade, or Melfi Tri-Brigade, or Tri-Brigade Gladiator Beasts. And aside from, of course, Sunavalon, it feels like Ragnaraka never really hit that stride. And even then, I would still argue that Ragnaraka is the worst archetype in the plant pile. But this completely changes the equation. Now it really feels like Ragnaraka feels like in a deck that actually belongs in. Now you may be looking at this and assume I have a deck profile for this. I actually don't. I'm actually not planning on playing this in advanced format. But what I did discover is that a lot of the cards you only use once. That means you can make a domain deck out of this. So expect to see that in the future. But for now, during the end phase, Petal grows back. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.